Hello, lovely yogi. Welcome to Flow with Shreya. I'm Shreya, and today I'm bringing you a pose breakdown. We'll be going over bridge pose today. I'll talk about the benefits, some contraindications, and also provide you with some tips, modifications, and variations. So if you want to learn more about bridge pose, come flow with me. Before we actually start practicing bridge pose, let's talk a little bit about it. First and foremost, some contraindications. If you've had any major neck or back injuries or surgeries, please be sure to consult a healthcare provider before practicing this posture. As always, listen to your own body, and if anything feels like too much, back off. There are plenty of other postures you can practice instead. With that being said, let's talk about the benefits of this pose. Bridge pose is a heart opener, a lower body strengthener, a core strengthener, and to help calm anxiety, stress, fatigue, and even headaches. It can also help with digestion and metabolism because of the stimulation it gives in the abdominal area. And the heart opening part of this pose is really great to counterbalance some of our daily modern postural habits. Bridge pose is a great one to practice as a warm-up leading up to deeper back bends like wheel pose. In fact, in bridge pose, you're using the same muscles as you would in wheel pose in the same ways. So it's really great to practice and work your way up to that deeper back bend. So now let's learn how to do bridge pose. We'll start by laying down on our backs. So from a seat, bring your feet flat on the mat, knees bent, and take your time as you roll all the way down and onto your back. The setup for bridge pose is, first, you want to tuck your shoulders underneath you. So gently lift up just a little bit of that upper body as you pinch your shoulder blades behind you. This is how you tuck your shoulders underneath you. This is going to provide a base of support. Your other base of support is going to be your feet. So walk your heels as close to your bottom as you can. You can place your palms next to you, palms facing down, to help you press. Take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. On your next inhale, gently begin to lift your hips up off the mat. Now in this space, rather than just clenching your glutes, which is a natural tendency, you want to use your entire body. So press into the shoulders, press into your palms, press into your feet. Engage and strengthen your quads here. Squeeze the air in between your thighs to do that. Hug your belly button up and in to keep that back supported and to engage and work on your core. And all the while, keep breathing. You'll really notice that your glutes are very activated here, and maybe even your thighs. And you really do want to distribute that activation throughout your entire body. As you exhale, gently and slowly lower your hips down. And take a moment to take your feet just a little bit wider, and then drop your knees side to side. Just releasing out of that pose. Now, if you feel like you need a little bit help with that lower body activation in this pose, here's where a block comes in handy. If you have one, go ahead and grab it. You can also use any thick, sturdy book if you don't have a block. So let's set up first. What you're going to do is take the block, place it in between your thighs as close to your groin as you can. Now squeeze the block with your thighs. Walk the heels in as much as you can. Tuck your shoulders underneath you. Inhale and lift the hips. Keep squeezing the block. Don't let it fall out. Now this is going to help you take that activation from your glutes and distribute it within the rest of your lower body. Your outer thighs, your inner thighs, your feet, your calves, everywhere. Keep your core engaged. And keep that strong base of support in your shoulders as well. Exhale, gently lower down. Remove the block. That's one way to activate that lower body. Another way is to use a strap or a resistance band. Now for the strap, you're going to want to shorten the loop a little bit so that it can go against your thighs. And then you just slide your feet in, pull it up all the way to your thighs. Now, notice how much give that strap has. You will want to be able to have a little bit of space in between your thighs. So if you need to loosen it, go ahead and loosen it. And once you've found that space where you can hold tension, pushing your thighs out against the strap, walk the heels in, tuck your shoulders under, inhale and lift up. Now if you have a resistance band, you'll also be able to push your thighs out in order to keep the resistance band in place. And again, this is going to support you in activating the muscles in your lower body. Hug the belly button up and in. Continue to breathe. With each breath, notice how much you can lift the hips up, creating a deeper back bend, creating more opening in your heart space. Another option you have with your palms is to clasp your fingertips underneath you. Now this is going to help you give a little bit more leverage to lift a little bit higher. Exhale, lower down one vertebrae at a time. If you have the strap, go ahead and remove it, or the resistance band. Now those are very, very active ways of practicing bridge pose. Another way you can practice bridge pose is in a little bit more passive way. And this is also how we would practice it in a yin class. If you have a block, go ahead and grab it now. If not, a bolster, a firm cushion, or again, a stack of books will be perfect here. So go ahead and set up for your bridge pose. Tuck the shoulders underneath you, walk the heels in close. Your feet will be about hips width distance apart. Inhale, lift the hips up. Now this time, grab that block, bolster, whatever you have, and slide it underneath your sacrum. Place your hips down onto the block. Let the block support you here. Now make sure you're not rolling off of the block in any way. You want to feel fully supported. And this is called a supported bridge pose. In this space, you can even walk your feet out or walk one foot out at a time to create more of an opening in that front line of your body. You can even take your arms up overhead. Again, notice this opening in the entire front line of your body. Allow your body to release and relax. Bring your palms back by your sides. If you straighten out your legs, go ahead and bend the knees. Inhale, lift your hips up as you remove the block from underneath you. Now take a moment just to take your feet as wide as your mat. Let your knees fall in towards each other. Let your elbows bend as you bring your arms up overhead. Passive rest pose. Now you've seen some modifications you can take with bridge pose, and you've also seen some different variations to help strengthen you. There are also ways to make bridge pose a little bit more challenging, and I'll show you those now. So go ahead and walk your heels in, tuck your shoulders underneath you, inhale and lift the hips up. Again, you always have the option to clasp your palms underneath you. This is going to give you that leverage, and even walking your feet in a little bit more, it's going to allow you to lift a little bit higher and create a deeper back bend. You can also lift your heels up off the mat here. This is another way to challenge bridge pose. Another option is to do a single leg bridge, lifting one leg up, but keeping those hips lifted. Exhale and lower down one vertebrae at a time. Take those windshield wipers with your knees, releasing out of that space. Now there's one more way you can practice a supported bridge, and this doesn't require any props. In fact, you'll just use your palms. Rock the heels in, roll the shoulders underneath you, inhale, lift the hips up. Now place your palms underneath the small of your back. This is another way to lift higher, yet still remain supported in a bridge pose. Keep your core engaged. Option to lift one leg or even both here. Exhale and lower. Remove your palms, lower down one vertebrae at a time. Lengthen your legs. Let your palms be by your sides. Just release and relax in this space. Roll over onto one side. And then come into a seat. So there you have it. Different variations, modifications, challenges in bridge pose. Again, remember you can practice bridge pose as a precursor to wheel pose, whether you're just warming up or whether you are building the strength in order to lift up into that wheel. The key is to distribute this pose within your entire body, using every single part of it in an active bridge pose. The active version of bridge pose will definitely help you strengthen the lower body, strengthen your core, as well as strengthen your back. When you're practicing bridge pose supported with props, that's what's going to help you open up the front line of your body and give you that stretch. Especially when you practice it in a yin way, you can really start to create that change in your connective tissue to counteract your daily postural habits. I hope you learned something new about bridge pose in this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also be sure to share this video with those you care about, as well as on social media. By sharing my videos, you help my channel grow, and that way I can reach more people with this information. Let me know in the comments below which pose you'd like me to break down next. As always, any props we've used, the clothing I'm wearing, and the mat I was practicing on will be linked in the description bar below in case you're interested. For more pose breakdowns, check out this playlist right here. If you want to practice bridge pose in a flow, check out this video down here. You'll also find yin yoga and vinyasa yoga on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.